back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. BeatsByCity.com. Namaste, Big Cat, Grand Rising. Big Cat Wave. Energy. Up, up, up. I insist. As we kick off this little tate-a-tate, remember, the dinner you decided not to go and attend, darling dear. That last family party, you decided not to go. Why? It would have been your last supper. Blood, bruh, or sistrine. Primbo with the toxic family. You'd rather stand naked in the rain with pins in your eyes. With all of your enemies with full internet, darling, your 5G style, recording every crack and cranny that you've got on display, darling dear, then go and eat with them. Yeah, you're like a superstar, being mentioned in their domiciles. Yes, baby, they talks about you in the mud hut. Why? You're like a superstar, like I said. They're always chatting about the celebrities, innit? And what the celebrities are getting up to, innit? And what they don't know, they make up, innit? Fist bump, Big Cat Wave. Yes, baby. Let's kick off quickly with the planetary energies today, right? The Skullduggerous moon has decided to slip and slide into Aquarius, darling dears, the 11th house of friends. I hope you took your own advice, Big Cat, and stayed within the perimeter of what you can control. The moon in Aries, darling dears, you may feel more in tune with yourself when examining how you fit or no longer fit into certain collectives and how you identify yourself today, darling dear. You better be identified as a big cat. I told you, we're besties and we do it together. Pinkies up. Cat. Yes, baby. We've also, darling dears, we've got Lilith. I decided, seeing as we're going to talk about the toxic family members, let's see where your Lilith is. Your dark moon, your dark side. The part of you that you sometimes show and sometimes it's brought out of you. With Lilith in Libra, darling dears, the 7th house of partnerships, and balance, and contracts, right? You're embodying the scales of balance. Why? Because it's most important for you today, darling dear. You've decided to shove that turkey in the oven by any means necessary, right? And put your mental health first. Best thing to do, darling dears. Your mental health is your wealth. This is not the time for you to be a people pleaser, a thumber, shutting up your mouth and eating food where God knows where they did the... Do you remember? We don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, but there's this Thanksgiving in the USA. And this lady was washing her greens, right? The collard greens in her bathtub. Then my eyes saw the moss, the green shit and the black shit around, around the bathtub. You decided not to go to any dinners this year because you don't know how to cook in the food. And what mind are they in? Mind to what? Uplift, right? Are they singing like an angel, strumming on a harp when they're preparing that food? Or are they working, right, hand in hand with the devil as they cook that food for you? Things like that you've got to wonder, darling dears. No time to be a people pleaser. You may end up brown bread, darling dear. Always, big cat, with the moon in Aquarius, remain true to yourself, darling dears. Aquarius, as I said, is the 11th house, but it's also ruled by, what's that? You're right, darling dear. Uranus. Uranus, the 8th planet. So it was a lucky thing for some that chose not to go where they shouldn't be, darling dear. Certain tables you mustn't sit at. Why? As soon as you get up, you're the topic. And I told you, big cat, you're a celebrity. You're a celebrity. Big cat, wave. You are. Right? Lilith in Libra warns you, darling dears. Warned you against looking at relationships through rose-colored glasses. I told you about them rose-colored glasses. We plucked them off, right? Dashed them violently to the ground and crushed them under our flip-flops. What's that? The flip-flop of common sense, blood. The one you must have firmly on your foot. Matter of fact, big cat, you are so clued up in your cranium, using your intuition and discernment, you can rent out your common sense. You can rent out it. Yes, you can. You can. I told you, multiple streams of income. Rent out your common sense, darling dear. You're so full of it. You have a field of flip-flops just planted because you're always seeding with new ideas on how to do things the right way. Yes, baby. I think you, if they them and want any advice from you, you gotta rent it to them, blood. You charge by the hour. Yeah? Wanna come tell me your business? Listen, I don't wanna hear no one's gossip. I don't want to hear no one that's gossiped about you. And if you really want me to listen to it, you're gonna have to pay me, bitch. Listen, I'm not calling you a bitch, but I'm calling anyone that wants me to listen to anything. Because I told you, I am Switzerland. As are you, big cat. Why, you may ask, why do people say that they're Switzerland? Why is Switzerland able to not get into any beef? You know what Switzerland's done, right? Switzerland boards many countries, darling dear. However, Switzerland has sworn to blow up every road, every highway, every byway, blow up everything if you dare come on their land. So what's the point going to conquer a country that's been blown to bits? Switzerland is the ultimate of F with me and find out. This is why everybody's careful around Switzerland. Yeah? Fist bump. Still gonna carry on with the planetary energies. Why? Because we are in it, mate. We're in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, darling dears. Dun dun dun. Yeah, babe. It starts on the 29th of December and will continue to wreak havoc on the unsuspecting, right, until the 18th of January 2023. So, throughout this retrograde, because it's Mercury in Capricorn, Capricorn is the 10th house. It's of your public standing, your status, your career. Well, guess what? Your big plans and your hard work, right, might take a hit, right, throughout this particular retrograde. This is why I'm telling you about it, darling. I told you, we always like to stay prepared. Every year, a few times a year, I bring this out. Follow it to the letter, big cat. Follow it, and you won't be wrong. Right? Let me put it back in my special place so I can find it. Because I told you my left hand keeps losing my ring. Right? So, but I've got something important. I put it back immediately where I know I'm going to find it. I digress again, but I'm still going to press on. Because who gonna check me, boo? Yeah, exactly. Like I said. Enjoying it? Are you loving it, big cat? If you are, hit the thumbs up button so we can carry on. Like I said, Mercury retrograde is going to be hitting you up all over your plans and hard work. Yes, baby. It's important to remind yourself that some things exist outside of your control. So you've got to do what? Let go and let God, darling dear. Especially with your career, especially if you've been trying to fine tune, be a keyboard gangster, or you've gone into an organization to get that knowledge, darling dear. Whatever you've done, it may have taken a hit, darling dear, but you have to remember, when you are about to shoot an arrow, darling dears, you have to put it backwards in order for it to jettison high up into the hemisphere and then come down on target. Remember, I told you that. Yes, baby. So try letting go of your need for control, yes, to sail through this retrograde with ease, okay? Okay. Because Mercury retrograde also affects, I don't know, your friendships. You could find yourself falling out with people that really needed to go, but it had to be the right time to get them out of your life. You may experience a lot of misunderstandings. You'll have issues with your travel, your logic, your communications. People are going to misconstrue your words, big cat. Yes, they're going to deliberately create a misunderstanding and misconstrue your words. So you better be careful of what you say. Me personally, East Island and Stevie Wonder, I ain't got nothing to say. And if you're calling me as what? The bringer of bad news, guess what my answer is? Okay. Nothing around it, just okay, darling dear. Okay. I told you I'm not involving my edges in nothing. No. I've worked too hard to get them back. It's also about the Mercury retrograde. It's also about what? Flights being delayed. Your travel's going to be interrupted. It's about your email contracts. Be careful of what you sign. Make sure you read the fine print so that you don't end up in civil court or criminal court in the new year. Right, darling dears. Let's call in the energy. Oh, wait a minute. Come on, they almost got this. Listen. We're going to talk about the toxic family members. Going to use my Chalice Wellspring water that I drove all the way to Glastonbury, right, in October 2020. And I use it sparingly, darling dears, because I tell you what, let the budget just stay with them. Yeah. Hey. I'm not taking anybody's crosses, right? I'm just going to have a look-see because Big Cat, I told you, you mustn't look. You mustn't look at their social media, and you surely must not listen to any merchant of slander trying to bring you what? Tides of bitterness, right? And twistation that's going on in their life. Don't listen. Why? Because karma don't care whose house it drives up at. Remember, you hear anything, you either say okay, and that's it, or and that's it. Walk away, Big Cat. Walk away after that. Don't look back. Remember Lot's wife, Salt Bay. What just fell on the floor next to me? Oh, okay. The Calm Club fell on the floor. Must be for a reason. We'll have a look in a minute. Let's call in the energies of wisdom, guidance, and protection from Father God, Mother Isis, ancestors, angels, way showers, and spiritual guides. From Keitha to Mount Kuf. Namaste. Energies. Up, Big Cat. I insist. As we go on a little seek and find out she's naive. As you don't sit at that table. They're like gremlins at the table, darling dears. Everybody hates everybody's back guts. Everybody's chatting everybody's personal business. Right. And the cook is up. The cook is drunk. The cook has been drunk from before they woke up, darling dear. Why? They knew they was waking up to that dysfunctional paradigm, and they had to shut up and get everything prepared. What's this? We've got connections and the foundation, but we've also got the path and a new path which you're exploring. It speaks about your hidden depth, darling dears. It's also saying what? It's the time for your expansion as well as your expression, darling dear. We have the root. You was the root in the situation. But what did they do? They did a root canal, darling dear. Talking about root canals, baby. If you can avoid having a root canal, avoid it. It usually, and people that I've known, right, that's had a root canal, because they even tried to get me to have one, right? But I said, no, I'm going to rely on my own, not find out she's naive, because I'm a keyboard gangster and all that, right? Everyone that's had a root canal, darling dear, because when they take out the root, some of them don't clear out all of the bacteria that gets caught up in the gum. So down on that side, the side of the body where they had the root canal, they usually develop breast cancer. Yes, baby, uterine cancer, cancer of the scrotum. I got all of your attention now. Be very careful with the root canals. This is why I keep telling you, get your raw, unpressed, cold pressed coconut oil, darling dear, an oil pull 2 to 3 times a week, right? Get your fluoride-free toothpaste, right? And then get your toothbrush that's made out of bamboo. Listen, we're going back to the early times, yeah? We want early shit because this late shit is trying to kill us. If it's not the food, darling dear, it's the water. If it's not, listen, I told you there's a guy on TikTok, right? He's gonna have me just what, chewing on wheat seeds, darling dears. Yeah, ears of wheat by the new year, because I'm scared to eat anything. Everything could kill you. It'll kill you. Listen, it's my own fault. It's because I'm a keyboard gangster and I found it by myself. No one told me about it. I found him, and now I'm a captive audience. I can't stop watching. Yes, baby. Somebody is also what? intertwined with you, darling dear. They are focused on what you've got going on. They're trying to understand how you're still creating some kind of stable foundation, possibly for yourself or even your progeny, or you've moved on, darling dear. They want to know how your garden is growing, as theirs is what? AstroTurf on layaway. I told you, they're going through it. There's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of sibling rivalry, darling dear, that's possibly going to break out into a fight, just like Celie at the table with Mister. But the only difference, it will be the brothers and sisters at each other's throats. This is where people come, darling dear, to get all of their psychosis out, is at a family gathering. Yeah, and wait till they get the alcohol in their system. Good God, it's Chucky on crack. They're wondering about the foundation you built for yourself, darling. They need to wonder. They must wonder. They must wonder. If you're not sitting at their tableau today, they must wonder. Why? Because you're a celebrity, big cat. I keep telling you that. You what? You pea glitter, you shit cupcakes, and you fart rainbows. And they've added more to it since then. Fist bump. Big cat, wait, listen. They're always embellishing stuff about celebrities, darling dears. Look what they did to Jesus. What makes you think you're any special than that? I'll just drink my water while you tell me why you're more special than Jesus. Why they ain't embellishing everything. And why you work out why you're a celebrity. Put it in the comments. Yeah. They would have loved to have you there, darling dears, to talk about you in front of, behind your back, kind of in your face kind of a way. The one that, you know, those family members, the ones that are just effing nosy, asking inappropriate question after inappropriate question. And when you look at them, they look like Jabba the Hutt. You remember from Star Wars, just a... That's what they look like. Yes, yes. Or the other one that likes to come with their progeny. Then all of a sudden, where's your mummy? Where's your daddy? We don't know where they are. They're somewhere across the border, darling. They're not coming back for their progeny till the new year, right? You know the one that likes to come through with a baby, right? They don't know who the father is, but don't tell anyone, right? They don't know who the father is. They're coming through the baby. The baby's got one nappy, and they're in it. And that nappy's full of shiznai, darling dears. Yes, that one. Or you'll get the dysfunctional family member that you know is getting their ass kicked on a regular basis. You're surprised they still made it through 2022, darling dears. And yet here they are, right? And they treat their partner like they're paying homage to a god at a shrine. Yes, yes, you know those family members, big cat. What about the drunken auntie that gets drunk, darling dear, and starts telling you about the grown folks' business because you was too little to understand then? Then you find out that your grandmother was a hoe, your daddy was a beating hoe. Yes, yes, and a gambler. You find out everything, darling dear. What about the family member that thinks they're so funny? The one that's always telling jokes, darling dear, with that hot breath filled with skullduggery. They're the ones telling the jokes so you don't notice that their grass is AstroTurf, darling dear. Laughing it up, yeah. But they still got to go to that dark mud hut where what? Sadness and loss is waiting on their bed for them. Yes, hello darkness, my old friend. Yeah, that's what they're going through. What about the nieces and the nephews that are straight up harlots, darling dear? They're hookers. You can't believe they've had such a strenuous sex life. Listen, you didn't miss nothing, darling dear. The stage was set for fucking ease, blood, but you chose to sit in the presence of the Most High, cook your own food that you don't have to scrutinize, and you know it's not going to take you to the A&E where they'll be saying things to your progeny like, who do you want to call? It's the last 45 minutes. Yeah, none of that's going to happen if you stay at home. You won't get hit on, right, by your sister's husband or your brother's wife. You're not going to get hit on, or no one trying to feel up your knee. Good God, good God. When you go into the kitchen, you'll see the cook picking the turkey off the floor and kicking the turkey before they pick it. Listen, none of that will happen if you stay at home. I'm telling you, I don't want But listen, I told you, nobody can bring me food or drink unless I gave birth to them, darling dear. And even then, they have to show me their birthmarks before I take anything from them, because you could be a doppelganger. Yeah, I'm telling you, being a soldier for the light and all that, you attract all sorts of this and that. But again, I digress, darling dears. Let's get into the cards and see exactly what's going on. Is everybody fabulous? Who's here in the chat? Let me see if I can bring it up on the MacBook, because I'm telling you, Mercury retrograde it seems like sometimes it's just at my house. I'm bothered with point A and point B when it comes to what? The electricals. And no, I'm not going to change the paper. We have to talk about point A and point B in practically every single reading. You need to understand that you must not be amongst point A and point B. You have to understand Tinky Winky. Right? Yeah, that's right. Let's carry on, darling dears. What does your ancestors have to say about the family dinner that you didn't go to? Just give it a good shufty, yeah? It's the only way to be fair. What does your ancestors have to say about you excusing yourself from the fucking ease? You learn to walk with the wise and be wise, darling dear. Yeah, you was right. You got the badass alchemist ways, as above, so below. It also speaks about a quickness. If you'd gone there, darling dear, something definitely would have manifested with a quickness. Possibly fighting. Maybe they earmarked you to be the dummy bat of the year, darling dears. Where everyone was going to pick on you. And you know when listen, hear me, big cat. The best way to know if someone's been talking about you, especially if they've got progeny, see how their progeny behaves when you come around. You'll know exactly what was being said, because their progeny ain't gonna hide it, blood. They're not. But you've manifested something, darling dears. What did you manifest? Or what have they manifested? Base of the deck, a lack of balance. So there's arguments, darling dear. There's arguments, fighting. There's a power struggle going on. And there's nothing but bird brains, darling dear. What hood-looking alfalfas arguing backwards and forth. And it looks like the dark is winning. You avoided a destabilized, dysfunctional, toxic pit, right? With all of Chucky's cohorts. Chucky 1, Chucky 2, Chucky 3. Yeah, all of them. All of them was there. Split the deck. Spell casting, what? Baggages, that's what they are, darling dear. The High Priestess on its face. These are the ones that love to gossip and talk, darling dear. They can't even hold water. Their mouth is a sieve, darling dear, a sieve. This person is... I told you, big cat, you're a celebrity. There's someone in particular who particularly hates your eyelashes and the way your nostrils flutter as you take in the air that we all get for free at the moment on this Malkoof, darling dear. One person in particular is what the head of the gossipers, the hell of the hillbilly investigation launches, darling dear. Someone in particular is talking about you. They're gossiping and lying. They're talking about your foundation. They want to know if you're stable. They're saying you're not stable in your cranium. Well, obviously you can't be, darling dear, because you're not the one that's kicking it with the mad, darling dear. Daring to try and enjoy a meal around people that hate you. Are you mad? I've got to laugh to myself. I can't believe it. But you've got the biggest hater of them all. The one that is focused on you, darling dear. I told you, when people hate your guts, darling dear, you have a captive audience. All they can do is think about you. They go to bed thinking about you. They wake up thinking about you. And now they'd like to cross you. On its face, darling dear, is also a return to sender. Somebody sent spell work your way, darling dears. Yes, they did. Can't you see? They tried to bring destabilization to your situation. But what they forgot when they was casting all of these spells on you, big cat, was the return to sender. Why? Because you never went back. You didn't get there. Anything you'd have taken from them, whether it was food, drink, or whatever, it would have been prepared by their hand, and it would have been on your undoing, darling dear. So pat yourself on the back, big cat. You averted some major shiznai. One more card. Look at this. They've got a lot of attachments on them, darling dear. So they've got the attachment of what? The PORN, the SEX, the alcohol, the drugs, the fighting, the drama. All of it is round there, darling dear. You'd have been amongst toads or frogs. No, blood. We don't like toads or frogs. Oh, hell no. A lot of spiritual attachments. You manifest in a different way, darling dear. This is represented by the magician in tarot, darling dears. It's Mercury energy as well as air energy. So you've got the intellect. You have the intellect to remove yourself and cut certain soul ties to situations. This is about having a rational mind, understanding the dynamics in the situation, a situation that was built to keep you as a people pleaser. Why? Because these same said family members saw a different spark in you. You was built to be the black sheep of the family, darling dears. You was built to what? Go into the unknown and sock it to him, Scotty. Sock it to him. You was sent to break generational curses. You was sent to show them how to create a true new foundation, one where they could live out their life on this Malkuth, living their life purpose. And what did they do, darling dears? Exactly. That's their business. What did I just say? The curses they wanted to send your way has been sent right back to them in the mud hut. Where's that? The crevice of the devil's balls, blood? Yeah. Return to sender. Because they ate you, darling dear. Because they hated you so much. You was meant to be protected from them, and they are meant to watch you shine. This crimbo dinner that they're eating, it might as well be what? Tar and feather, darling dears. It will have no taste. Why? They wanted you to have the final meal, the last supper with them, darling dear. Oh my God. Return to sender. Posh clap. Love it. Don't hate it. I love it. Right? Right. Let's get some decks out and see what else is going on. Right? We're going to get 2 clear decks. We're going to use the After Tarot deck and the gold deck for you. Base of that, they're not happy. This is also generational curses. If they've got progeny, no one in that family is truly happy. This is no lack of emotional maturity, darling dears. They're always, where there's smoke, there's always the fire, darling dears. And this don't look like no phoenix. It looks like a rooster head, darling dear. A rooster. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on for them. Energy around the toxic family members as they sit at their last supper. Talking about you. Somebody's waiting for something specific to happen to you, because I told you the alchemist also speaks about the spell castation, something that was supposed to happen to you with a quickness. Yes, darling dear. They're not understanding why you didn't get sick. It's also speaking about travel, because the magician speaks about travel. Someone wanted you to perish in a chariot, darling dear. They wished you brown bread. Imagine that. You minding your own big cat business, working on your multiple streams of income, right? Talking with the Most High Father, Godmother Isis, being grateful to your ancestral team, right? For gifting you with all of their skills, looking after your progeny if you've got them, darling dear, and living your best life, minding your business. It's a full effort, darling dears. A full effort. Look. They've got nothing but issue upon issue upon issue. They would love to put it down, darling dear. But the one issue they have is you. I'm telling you, they don't like this new beginning. Some of you have taken a spiritual path, maybe spiritual enlightenment. Maybe you have a new job, a new home. Whatever you took, that one of wands, the ace of wands. It looks like one of these, darling dears. Whatever you did, right? They're burdened by it. They're very upset. Very upset about what's going. Yes, because they would like to change the situation that they find themselves in. But they're not understanding all of these spiritual attachments that they have on, right? The time that they spend, looking at your green grass, right? And your shapely back as you disappear over the hemisphere, law 16. The time they spend worrying about you, they should have been focused on their own transformation. The universe is abundant. But oh no, this also speaks about the deaf, darling dear. Someone needs to be careful of a fire. This is an older person. Be careful of fire over this holiday season, darling dear. Because whatever it is, it's going to be on them, darling dear. This is not a situation that they're going to be able to recover from. It also speaks about them feeling extremely depressed, darling dear, because when you see the death card, Scorpio in the upright, it speaks about depression. Somebody's really broken about the fact that you've actually left the situation, darling dear. Somebody's expecting you to still be the same kitten you used to be when you've chosen to be a big cat. Imagine that. This is somebody that got the energy from you being down, darling dear, being burdened with their words, because their words never matched up to their actions, darling dears. Someone is very upset that you chose to change based off their deck, and you're working hard. Listen, that's a stone to their eye chakra and a knife to that black-hearted space. Base of look, hey, they ain't wrong about that, blood. Look, see, come hither, big cat, lean in. You're working hard. They see you working hard. You see you working hard. This is achievement, success. Mental health is your welfare. Focused on your own grind. Your grind better be multiple streams of income. Big cat, we move forward with passive income. You all have it in you to what? Build your entrepreneurial businesses and bend the matrix. You're only limited by what you believe in your mind. And remember, you are a limitless being, darling dear. Even the cards are telling you, even your haters are telling you, you are focused, man. Yeah, success. I love it. Again, I love something else in this spread. I don't hate it. I love it. They're watching you work hard. You're watching you work hard. And what they're not understanding when they're looking at you with these slitty eyes. I told you, these hillbilly investigators, right? When they're watching you, they're giving you all of their energy. They're sending you their energy. This is why you're feeling so invigorated, darling dear, to keep pressing forward. Even though we're going to have the energy of we've been living in it, the pre-shadow of the Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. This is a time for you to reassess your future plans around your career, your work, how you want to build your status, whatever it is, darling dear. The 10th house is also the house of fathers. The father, yes, it is, darling dear. There's a father. It could be a baby father, an ex-husband, or it could be wife, because you know gender is fluid. They're going through it, mate. Someone's going through the rinse and repeat of the karmic cycles. Imagine that. If I had pearls, I wouldn't be clutching them bitches. They deserve it, because people put themselves in. They worked hard for the situation they're in, mate. They have worked hard for it. Right? What's going on with you other than working fabulously hard? Right? Learning new things. This is achieving accolades, darling dear. Certification. Right? What else is going on with the big cat? What did I say? Focused on the bag. And the bag is focusing on you, darling dear. Queen of Pentacles. Some of you are in an advisory role. You could be counselors, health workers. You could be buying and selling real estate, or be in that real estate field. But it's also about flipping houses, darling dear. Somebody's looking into flipping houses in the new year. Go for it, darling dear. Until you try, how you're going to know how far you're going to leap, darling dears. It also speaks about your loyalty, darling dear. You ain't just anning it out like you did before. Oh, how now, brown cow? You're looking at your heart, the Pentacles. No, it's not your heart, darling dear. But I'm saying you're going within, right? Because you understand Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart, for from your heart is the well of life. And you remember these bottom feeders of old. They put a lot of strain and stress on your heart, darling dear, with the lies and the actions they showed you. They showed you who you were. Who they are, darling dear. They showed you who they are. And now you're finding that you was the loyalist and the most hardest worker in the room. If you've got progeny, darling dear, you are in role model status at this moment in time. Why? You've broken generational curses. You've learned how to break the mold. Yes, baby, and bend the matrix. Never you feel that you are insignificant, big cat. You know how many people wish they could be you, be in your position? I told you, big cat. You're a celebrity. Just accept it, big cat. You're a celebrity based on the deck. Because all of that confusion, the fighting, you don't compete where you don't compare. Queen of Pentacles ain't looking around to see where I go on with anyone else. Queen of Pentacles is focused on her own bag, her own mental health, her progeny, building her own empire. And you will be seen as the one by many, darling dear. Many people are looking at you and seeing you as the prize, big cat. But remember, These are some of them that are watching you are the same said ones, right, that caused all of this hot gossip, the fighting. Some may even try to put their hands on you, darling dear. Yes. These are the same ones that wanted your demise. A divine chose you. I told you. Earmarked for greatness, darling dear. Even before you knew who you was. But you know now, because you ain't sitting at them tables anymore. And it's justice. Libra energy. We've already just discussed Libra, because Lilith's in Libra, right? And Lilith being in Libra is saying that you must embody the scales, right? You be the balance in your life. You hold the sword of truth, darling dear. Justice is also the karma card. When you released yourself from that situation and became the Queen of Peace, darling dear, it wasn't easy. But it wasn't for the faint-hearted. The Pentacles is about you having to nurture yourself. You had to find a new more stable foundation in your life, and it's also about the support. You found that your support team came from within because no one was coming to save you, blood. But as soon as you chose to win, darling dear, as soon as you chose to win, this is when you stepped into your true purpose as a divine soul, darling dear, sent to this Malkuth to uplift with your skills and your ways, darling dears. You haven't lost anything in the situation. Karma is being delivered onto whom it needs to be delivered at this moment in time. And it also looks like you're going to have to go to as far as a legal situation. Or maybe you did get into a legal situation with someone who was possibly a matriarch or patriarch of the family, darling dear. But you have to also remember that family member never chose you, darling dears. Put down the legal situation. If they never chose you before, why are you fighting their battles now? Sometimes you have to leave people amongst the mire they create for themselves, darling dear. It's a sinking ship, Scotty. And Big Cat, we don't like to sink. We've got to stay afloat to sock it to them. You come with the justice and the truth. And many can't stand the truth, darling dear. Always be a truth teller, especially to thyself, darling dear. To the person in the mirror. Right. Where's the other deck? Oh, here it is. So how do they feel about you? I mean, they're watching you. They're crying into their fists. Luke 62:22. They would love to call you back. They want to understand how you was able to transform yourself. You're also holding a flag. The flag is about transformation, darling dear. And when you see this flower on it, is it the lily? Is it a lily? When you see this flower, right, on a flag, it's about what? Being naive. Not necessarily naive, but it's a newness about you. There's something different about you, darling dear. That certain skills that you weren't showing. You was like, what? Still waters that run deep, Queen of Pentacles. They only peeled off the first layer of the onion with you, darling dear. The first layer, that was the people pleaser. They didn't get to your true grit. You had to get to the true you when you learn to walk alone, lean on your own understanding, and invite the Most High at every meal. I absolutely love it. I don't care what's at your back, who's fighting over what's. Nothing to do with you, Big Cat. Because you hold the sword of truth, Libra energy, in the upright, I might add. So how do they feel about the Big Cat? Who's minding? That's a lot of cards. I'm not taking them. Sometimes the cards like to pick on me, right? But I'm not allowing it today. I got up at 6 a.m. this morning, right? Because I said to my progeny, we're going to season up all of the meat. I only did, I made curry mutton because my son loves curry, right? And then I made turkey because I love turkey. And then the only thing Karma and more wanted was pigs in a blanket. That's the sausages with the bacon wrapped around. I like Trenton, I like it. No, Trenton for me. That's what we call the pig in Jamaica, Trenton, right? So everything's done. The rice and peas done. I did my Brussels sprouts in my special way. I've made my stuffing. The only thing that's got to do is the salad and the what's them things? Usual puddings. Cara Moore's made her garlic potatoes, roasted, I might add. The food is cooked. Our meal was more or less ready by 12 p.m. Yeah. Listen, and they better what? They better toss heads and tails for who's washing up, because it's not going to be me. They're still trying to force me to go to washing a dishwasher. I said, why do I need a dishwasher when I've got 2 pairs of hands outside of myself? Hey! Yeah. They like to bring up things that I'm not arguing with. I'm not in my parliament. While you're here, you work, blood. You can't pay a bill, but you can work. Work hard. Yes. I said, they was like, but mommy, I'm getting a new kitchen when you're moving out, blood. When you move out, you'll see all of these updated. You might even see me levitate on a hoverboard, right? Once they've moved out. Why shouldn't I make them wash up? They had to be cut from me, and they don't want me to talk about that. Right, so how do they see you, big cat? Because they see that you've transformed. You're not the same cat. They're still going through a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting. This is people that's not even telling the truth to themselves. So how do they really see you? You haven't got to stick in the look. You're mirroring. 5 of Wands, 2 different decks. There's 78 cards in the deck. What's the odds of getting the same card out, both in an upright, darling dear? They see that you're not fighting with them. They see that you've changed. Maybe seeing you as a more calmer person. Maybe because you're not around the devil's strongest workers. Yeah, maybe that's why you've changed. They see that you're not arguing, you're not trying to get into the group, but they also see that you stand head and shoulders above them. Why? Because you chose you. And when you chose, you invited the Most High to be at the head of your table. They see that you're being calm. They don't really know what's going on with you. Look at all of this ones coming out for them. Good God. Knight of Wands on its face. This goes to 6 of Wands, darling dear. In the reverse, I might add. This is a lot of arguments, a lot of fighting with your name on their lips, darling dears. They don't like the fact that you've moved forward, that you've got a new confident glow about you, darling dear. Some of you may even be in the media, have a platform, or your business, the business that you started, or your studies, whatever it is out there. It's there for them to take notice. Remember when you started, they said little. Now they have to shut up, right? But they haven't stopped watching, darling dear. And the fact that you are not taking an apology, that you refuse to go to their crimbo dinner, you'd rather drink bleach and hope for the best. Yes, that's what you said, big cat. You said you'd rather drink the bleach. Hey, they're not happy that you're not involved in a situation, Knight of Wands. And they're making speculation about why you didn't turn up for crimbo dinner. Apart from the fact that they sick you to your stomach. Apart from the fact that you see them like hood-looking alfalfas, right? With tree sloth ways and algae in their fur, yeah? And they want you to be the what? The victim. I think not. You're a survivor, darling dears. You survived without them. They're not understanding how you managed to do it. Some of them are working in the same job, darling dear, but only just barely. And I'm also seeing somebody being told to leave a position. Death card, right? Which is going to turn their whole family life upside down because they don't have the money. I haven't seen no Skrilla come out for these same dysfunctional family members that's taking a shit on your name, darling dear. Why? I told you, big cat. Because you're a celebrity. Accept it. 144 in the chat. Fist bump. Big cat wave. When the chosen assemble, darling dears. Love it. I don't hate it. There's no money. They ain't got none. Have we got time for petty? Why not, eh? Them have no pentacale. No pentacale, none. Not a bean. This is somebody about to be let go from work. This is also some people arguing over a particular inheritance, darling dear. Somebody who was what a chancer on someone else's money because there's no money here. This, when you don't see any pentacales, right? Pentacales on the tableau, darling dears, is bad. It's gone past bad. It's flipping wicked, darling dear. Wicked. This is someone who is going to be destabilized from their home, darling dears. Someone who you're going to hear living in a caravan amongst the gypsy community. And I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but the last person you thought would be out on the street, they're going to be put out on the street, darling dears. We also hear of someone fighting over somebody else's money because the money's not here, or they don't have the money to pay off a situation that they've put forward, darling dear. It could be a new home, it could be a new job. It could also be studying. Somebody's fallen off a studying course, darling dear. Why? Because they're a dummy bat, darling dear. They didn't have it in the mentals to achieve what you achieved without even trying, darling dears. I'm also seeing an STD, a spiritually transmitted disease, demon on them, darling dear. I told you, we already saw it with the Guardian card on its face. Them don't have it. When you see no pentacles on the table, this is mental breaks, darling dear, breakdowns. Nobody, there's a lot of passive aggressive here. Nobody at this family gathering is really saying what they truly mean, darling dear. No one is prepared to step up to the mic and bring true change. It's still going to be dysfunctional, but whatever energy that is that they're trying to bring to you, darling dear, return to sender. I told you you're a celebrity and your name is on their lips. You hold the sword of truth. Making the right choices. I told you this is the karma card. And you know it. You know what's being said. And you know whom said it. We already saw the High Priestess on her face when we were shuffling out the cards in the beginning, darling dears. You know that they're sending spell work your way. They want you to flop. They want your ship to stop sailing, darling dear, whatever you've been doing. You chose to go within, and it's about you managing your emotions, becoming more emotionally mature as you sit between Boaz and Jashin, the two pillars of wisdom, as found outside King Solomon's temple in the Book of Kings, darling dears. Boaz is for completion, Jashin is for beginning, darling dear. They see that you have a new beginning. Some of you are tarot readers, or you're consulting the tarot or oracle cards with your new beginning. But baby, consult them all you want, darling dear, but make sure you go for your birth natal chart, yeah? That will give you the right path. Base of your deck. Breaking generational curses, creating generational wealth, darling dear. This is why you came out as the Queen of Peace at the beginning of the read. Focused on your bag. This 10 goes to 11. 11 is about synchronicity, as well as what? Spontaneity and something major coming your way. 11 is a master number, darling dears. I'm an 11 life path, and this is why I keep telling you, darling dears. When I told you that I'm a volunteer, I came back to help out a few people. If me did really look upon things, I'd still be in the cradling in the bosom of the Most High. I would have never come back, lad. I'd never come back. We talking about, right? Hoodwinkers, bamboozlers, right? Listen. Now I'm sweating. I'm not even perspiring. I'm sweating. You, darling dear, are creating what? A solid foundation. This is a table that your progeny will eat from, and you will eat from. Remember, I told you about the cryptocurrency and the block and the Bitcoin and the blockchains. You need to get into that. We have 3 months, darling dears, from now until the end of March to sort out your Skrilla. I'm telling you, the amount of wealth that is about to change hands as they cut out the middle person. I've told you this many times. Told you this. You're going to be turning around and telling me, oh, okay, I missed this and I missed that. And I said, that's your business, blood. Because I did tell you. You get it sorted out, big cat. Sort out your finances, because divine wants to bless you. But you have to remember, right? You have to work for it. Show that you are worthy, darling dears, that you're not going to squander the money. You can't squander it by going back to situations where they're not doing nothing to change their life, darling dear. They're looking for a captain, save a harlot to come back. The same person that will come and help, they'll sit there and watch you struggle, darling dears. And they'll have all of that hot gossip at your back. Anything you tell them, darling dears, they will try and tear it down, because you have to be careful whom you tell your business to, darling dears. Not everybody's there to what? Row with you, darling dears. Some are just there to sink the boat, and they want to put their bad mind on it, darling dear, as they eat, sleep, right? And think about the blessings in your life, darling dears. No, you don't go back. No, you don't go back. You better not, big cat. Base of your deck. Make sure you choose wisely, darling dears. Divine has gifted you with options, but you have the ultimate choice, darling dear. This is why Divine gave us free will, to make the right choice. What's underneath that? Because there's a lot of people that would love to manipulate you out of what you've got going on, darling dears. And they're ungodly to boot, darling dears. Listen, they want to take you to the cleaners, right? And leave you there for air. As you work it out by yourself, darling dear. Don't go back. You already made the right choice. You understood you was being manipulated. You understood there was no stable foundation. You kept asking, where is the love? Where is God in this situation? Why did I have to go through this? But you have to remember freedom of choice. You choose to stay in situations where you know you're going to be manipulated because you feel lonely, or because of you've got the unfortunate situation of having the same DNA as them. Nah, babe, we do tinky winky round here, and we keep going on. Because we're strong. We're chosen, darling dear, to have the best life that we choose to have on this Mount Goof. Remember I told you that. Don't go back, darling dear. You'll be choosing to go amongst manipulative people, darling dear, that don't put God first. They will break you from the inside out if you dare to go back. So you've got a choice to make. Even though you disinvited yourself from Crimbo dinner, this is about whether you've disinvited yourself forever. Can you really stand it, darling dear? Can you really make a head over heart decision? Just because you're connected by DNA doesn't mean they're your true family. Blood doesn't mean loyalty, darling dear. They say blood is thicker than water, but you can only drink the water, darling dears. You can't drink blood. You can't. And some of you are going to be going into union for 2023. Listen, I told you, only a king, a hierophant, or an emperor, or a magician in the upright can approach your throne, darling dear. This is about you being checked out. Maybe some of you are going for the online dating. Well, I usually say that's a narcissist playground, right? But you've got freedom choice, darling dear. Choose what you want, but don't forget to do the what? The Boosie Badass. You investigate properly. Remember the Tinder swindler? Yeah. Learn from someone else's mistake. Because you're about to be blessed in the wallet, darling dear, the pocketbook, the handbag. It also speaks about your due diligence is about to be paid off. Some of you are going to be going into a union or a partnership that's going to take you into your old age, or you are up there in age already, darling dear. This is true loyalty, darling dear, is being brought to you. I heard something about an accountant, somebody that's into accounts or has an account. Online account could be, darling dear, or it could be talking about your cryptocurrency, darling dear. I told you already. I'm not a picker. I'm a pointer. I told you already, big cat. They're not having a nice time without you at that table, darling dear. They wanted you to be there and put up with their shit. Let's go through this. Being burdened, there's a lot of arguments and fighting. Now I see a destabilization from a home or a job. There's someone fighting over someone else's money, darling dear. Right? Yes, baby, and they want to look at this. All of this wants energy, but the majority of it's on its face. This is someone that lacking in inner strength, darling dear. I already told you about the passive aggressive that's going on, and it's a lot of destabilized relationships. There's no true friend at that table. Every friend has a best friend, but nothing is progressing. And now we see the Skrilla on its face. They ain't got no money, blood. This is someone that's in debt, or they have a job and being paid like a field hand. Why are they being paid like a field hand? Because they're not up for the job, darling dear. Some of them got a job, darling dear, and didn't tell the truth, and now they're realizing that, listen, they're like fodder on the wind. They're about to be earmarked to be told to get out, take your P45 and leave. This is also the spellcaster we saw at the top of the read, darling dear, the one that does not want to see your success. Somebody who hates you the most. You just know, you know who this person is. Four of Pentacles. They've got no control of you, so they controlled you before. This could be a family member, darling dear. I'm talking about the Crimbo dinner, for goodness sakes. It could be an older sister, an older brother, maybe even mother or father. Whomsoever has lost the control of you, darling dear. Look, the card fell in the reverse. They've lost control of you, and they're not happy about it. They didn't choose wisely. They don't like the choice that you've made. And they don't like the fact that you are giving them the Queen of Swords in the reverse, blood. This is it. One hand it's saying about the bitterness, the envy, the jealousy, the gossiping. Somebody who blames everything in life except themselves, the common denominator of all of the bad things happening to them. But it also shows that you are giving them straight up Queen of Swords. Chat to my back, darling dear. Otherwise I'll sue you, you peasant. I have nothing to do with you. You're doing a full Mariah Carey. Law 16 of the 48 laws of power. You also understood Proverbs 26:11. Only a fool returns to its folly, the way the dog returns to vomit, darling dear. You're doing a straight up Matthew 10:14. Dusting off your sandals and headed out was the best thing you could have ever done. Yes, they may see you as being cold, but they taught you to be this way, darling dear. Cold-blooded when it comes to them. They, them, and that wanted to be what? Tree sloth in your life, darling dear. They gave you misophonia, right? Yes, they did, and pisanophobia. Now you're obstreperous and then don't like it. But they better learn to love it, mate, as you count your pentacles. They're thinking about the money that you make. They're speculating on the money that you make because you may have got into an industry where it's not exactly clear how the money comes to you, darling dear's Knight of Wands. They don't know. They're speculating about your purse, darling dear. Maybe they're looking for a nurse and a purse. I don't know what your paradigm is, right? But you better leave those under judgment. Under judgment. They're speculating about your money. They don't know how you're getting your money, darling dear. And they're making lies. Maybe they're saying that you got a sugar mommy or daddy. Listen, if I had one, I'd bleed that motherfucker dry. Yeah. However, I'm a big cat, and big cat relies on themselves, darling dear. So no one can tell you nothing about this and that. They're lying and speculating about how you get your money, and they're under the judgment, darling dear, with thigh-high red leather boots. And this also speaks about what? The King of Pentacles can also represent prison, darling dear. Next to the Ace of Swords, somebody's also avoiding a prison sentence at this moment inside. Two of Swords, a situation that they chose. The swords could represent drugs. It also speaks about drug dealing, darling dear. There's a drug dealer amongst the ne'er-do-wells at the table you no longer sit at. Yeah, but this person is going to get they're about to be caught, darling dear, with their pants down or with a kilo or two, darling dear. Someone is definitely going to prison in their circle. They worked hard for it, darling dear. They're going to be victorious. They're going to get the booby prize under the gel. Split the deck. Yeah, they better be vigilant, mate, because they're going to get that knock on the door by the old bill. That's what we call the police in the UK, the old bill, or we call them the gatherers, because when they come around, everybody gets gathered up, mate. Split the deck. What did I say? They're going to prison. They're going to be out, darling dear, but not for some time. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, bad luck has found them. Listen, there's a drug dealer amongst your family members that you don't sit with is about to get a long sentence, darling dear. Or we saw the Hangman in reverse. They're about to be reversed, but they're coming back to sadness. Whomsoever they left their money with, mate, they spent that bitch as soon as their back was incarcerated. They've got no money to come back to, so you know they're going to be coming with a murder, death, kill in their eye. Don't be around those people, darling dear, because they're going nowhere but the graveyard. Look, dummy bats with a chicken head flying back in for his pentacles he left to one side. Listen, no weapon formed against them is going to prosper, darling dear. They're going to have to give up that money because the person whose money they've got is even more wickeder than them, darling dear. They're prepared to get that money by any means possible. It also speaks about a depressed person coming out of prison. You don't want to mess with a depressed person coming out of prison when you're supposed to have had their money for them, darling dear. Where's their money? That's what they're going to want to know. There's a lot going on. You ain't missing nothing. Nothing. Stay where you are, big cat. As you were, big cat. 179 in the chat. If you're enjoying this read, please hit the thumbs up button. Did I pick a rune for today? Not yet. Oh, you got duo. Doesn't normally fall out in the twos. When you read runes, you read them from right to left. You have Uraz, darling dear, on its face. This is the Hierophant Taurus energy. In tarot, it speaks about what? Violence. I told you somebody's coming to perpetrate some form of violence on a family member of yours. So a family member that was supposed to keep their money intact, or they gave them something to hold and they've spent it, darling dear. Represented by the letters U plus V, the numbers 20, 21, 22, and 23. Wow. This is somebody who is extremely controlling, darling dear. I heard kidnapping. Someone's about to be kidnapped. Off the street. Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is about what? A renewal, ending of a cycle, darling dear. You've completed the cycle with these bottom-feeding blood relatives, darling dear. Blood-sucking relatives. And you did the right thing. This is about a blessing going forward. Blessing in the form of what? Holidays. Yes, yes, yes. All of this and that, darling dear. It's also about opportunity, darling dears. You have evolved in such a way that divine is what? Giving you a posh clap, darling dear. And it also speaks about divine timing. Some kind of luck, a lucky situation is coming towards you. Let me draw one card on this. What's this lucky thing coming towards the big cat? as they have their peaceful meal today. What's this luck? Something coming in quick, darling dear, possibly involving a contract, a new beginning, but something that you're going to want to act on immediately. Queen of Wands talks about you using your intuition and your discernment. If it is a contract, darling dear, make sure that you read the fine print. Remember, we are in Mercury retrograde and you don't want to be scuppered. You are going to be seen as you're being seen as very sexy and free-spirited, darling dear, sitting on your throne of infinite possibility. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's nurturing, but you've learned whom to nurture. You've even got a cat watching your cat, darling dear. You ain't putting yourself out like that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, how now, brown cow. This is about you acting on any spiritual downloads, darling dear. Not telling you not to wait, not to hitch. But again, make sure you pay attention to the fine print. And it is also don't rush into any situation, darling dear. You're just coming off the back of heartbreak, whatever it was. It was a castle that was meant to fall, darling dear. Destabilized foundation. Use your intuition going forward, darling dear, to plan, plot, and strategize, but make sure you act on it. Some of you are going to be coming forward as a natural born leader. Wheel of Fortune speaks about in pronto speaking engagements, or you're going to be speaking. And I'm also hearing somebody going forward taking a public speaking course. Do it, big cat. You don't know what the universe has got lined up for you. And remember, as a big cat, we stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. When it's time to be ready, pinkies up. Base of your deck, darling dear, turning your back on that situation once and for all. Three of Wands is about your ships coming in. And again, these are traveling cards, darling dears. Some of you are going to be traveling, and as I said in previous reads, the money is going to come as if from nowhere, darling dear. Don't tell anyone that you've got it, and you make sure you take the time to relax, darling dear. Some of you need to take time off mentally, because you've been working too hard on getting your nose to the grindstone, darling dear, building your empire. I told you the retrograde is in Capricorn, darling dears. Take the time to reassess your plans. Make sure that you're running a tight ship, and be careful with decisions you make going forward, darling dear. Not every opportunity that's been presented to you, Queen of Wands, must you take. Use your intuition as well as your discernment. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, toddle over to my Patreon, or simply come back here. 195 in the chat. Please hit the thumbs up button. Thank you very much for your bookings, your likes, your subscribes, and your donations. My bookings are closed until after New Year's Day, because I like to give it on a 24 or 48 hour turnaround, as I always promise to do. So I just want to catch up on everything and keep everything copacetic. I don't want no one to be thinking any bad vibes about the big cat, because I will jettison it back in a boomerang kind of a style. Return to sender. But anyway, my bookings are closed until after the 1st of January. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. What's going on here? What's going on here? I've never heard of this track before. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who put that there. Listen, I told you Mercury retrograde is happening in my house. Until we meet again, big cat, remember, you was right to swerve and curve that last supper, darling dear. They had it in for you. But yet what? They will always talk about you, big cat. You're a celebrity in their mind. Anyone that's hating on you is hating because they believe that you are better than them. That's their business, blood. They're tree sloth. They're gone. Big cat, wave! Until we meet again on these Tarot streets. Cat, cat!